Well, hello loves, happy Sunday to you. I'm going to go over the supplies for today's Sunday inspiration. I will tell you that I had a ton of technical difficulties with this video. So there are some areas that are blurry and not for long, but it just was one of those days. And so we have a video. It's not the best, but it'll do. And sometimes that's what we have to do, is say, it'll do. So let's take a look at the supplies. So I used, for our wonderful, wonderful project today, I used acrylic inks, and that's it. Super simple and easy. Acrylic inks are so incredibly versatile, but I used deep violet, transparent burnt sienna, red oxide, muted gray, and some carbon black. And I used the carbon black to do my shading and to do my vines. And that's all the color that I used. That's it. I used my charcoal pencil. I did use a harder version instead of my extra soft. I used it too, but I also used the soft because I needed a little bit harder version out here because there's just so much yummy goodness. A black soft pastel to shade my edges. I used Nova Colors texture paste, and I love this stuff because it's white, white, white when it dries. So it is awesome. I used my fluid matte medium to put my papers down. And then, so that's pretty much all of the supplies for the actual page. I used three collage packs. I used the neutral vintage flowers collage pack. I'm always unsure of the names. They'll be listed on the blog. The link to the blog will be down below in the YouTube description box. I used British butterflies, and I was actually going to put these out here, but I tried and tried and tried, and it didn't feel right, so I went with my gut, and I just put the one down here on the door. And then stencils, the collage packs will be on sale, those three. And then the stencils that I used was Flower Bouquet #1, and that's all my gorgeous flowers. I used the numbers jumbled stencil for my 8 here. I used the large arch 1 round large, and then the cobblestone stencil for kind of my bricks and that kind of feel out in here. My handmade journal, and that is really it for supplies. Not a lot of supplies, super easy, but I really got lost in this process and I needed it this week, and I'll share more about that at the end of the video. Again, I apologize for a couple areas in the video. It is what it is for today. And sometimes we need to allow ourselves some grace for that kind of stuff to happen. So that is it. Oh, the other thing I want to have you pay attention to as I'm working through my project. So as I'm working through my project, I have done my layers, and I get this bright idea that I want to have some more white, and I did want to have more white, but I decided to do it in the form of some more flowers on top here. And as soon as I did it, started putting it down, I knew it wasn't right, and I wiped it up. And when I wiped it up, it left kind of these white areas in here, and I loved it. And so I want to encourage you to try all the things. Even like I could have second guessed myself out of doing that, but because I did that and I had that mistake and that I didn't like, and I cleaned it up, I got something else. I got a wonderful surprise in its place. So don't be afraid to try things, because it'll wipe up. It'll just come up. And you'll see me do that in the video. I kind of blunder my way through it, But I left it in so that you know that not every step is perfect when I create. And then I wipe up a lot of things, and a lot of times in those moments is when I discover new techniques or new things that I really, really love. The other thing I want you to pay attention to as I'm working, I'm responding to the page. And so this vine here, I did not have a plan for this vine, but this drip or whatever this was up here looked kind of like a vine. And so again, I went with it. I thought, well, I'm just going to try it and see. And I loved it. So I'm responding to the page itself. I'm present in the moment and responding to what's happening. And so pay attention to that as you see me do a couple of those things in the video. And as you create, be present in your moment as you're creating and respond as well. All right, so let's get creating. All right, my loves, there she is. She is a beauty, thick and yummy and good and grungy and just so good. I went over everything at the beginning of the video. Reminder that the link to the blog is down below in the YouTube description box, and it has all of the supplies and pictures and all the collage packs and all that kind of stuff is on the blog, and all the links to that. The collage packs will be on sale. Stencils will be on sale, so grab them if you decide that you would like to have one. And then what else? So today you'll be seeing this August 1st. I've decided to leave the doors to the membership open for today so that I could kind of do a reminder for you guys. And then I'm going to be closing the doors to the membership for 2 or 3 months. We'll reopen in October. But that'll kind of give us that core group of members to kind of work our way through the membership since it's new, and find out what works and what doesn't and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave the doors open for you guys for today. If you want to get in, today's the last day. And then the doors will close and we will create together. And we had it's been a month. It's been open just almost, it's about 3 weeks now, and it has been so fun to see what has been happening and how everyone's learning new things. And we have had some great art challenges, great projects, great lives, great techniques and journaling pages, and just, oh man, we're doing all kinds of stuff over there. So if you are so inclined, you can check it out and grab the last, get in on the last day for the membership to be open. Okay, so to our piece and the meaning. So I came across this. So if you're not familiar with Morgan Harper Nichols, she's a fantastic author, writer, poet, just all around inspirational human being. She's on Instagram, but I have an app of hers that I'm sure I've referred to before, and every day I get a new quote, and it's got beautiful art with it that she creates. So she's an artist too, and it's just awesome. But anyway, one of the quotes, this is just part of her quote writing, and it said, "Even here, when the door feels closed, you can still find light along the path. Your unknowns don't define you. There is still more," and I put joy ahead of you. She just had, "There is still more ahead of you," but I said, "There's still more joy ahead of you." That felt right for me. And I read that, and it was so incredibly perfect for right now, for me right now. And I knew that I wanted to create with it, because so often, especially in my journal, but when I am trying to figure some things out, or I am troubled, or I am struggling, or I am making decisions, whatever is kind of going on within me, I love going to my journal because I can kind of work it out as I'm creating. I can kind of work my way through some of the things that I'm thinking about or trying to decide, or whatever it is. And that's exactly what today was about. And so this quote came, and I've got some things that I need to make some decisions on, and changes and different things like that. And I'm, sometimes we can overthink it, and it can just constantly go over and over and over in our heads. So I journaled it out. And journaling always helps me get it out of my head and onto the paper. And then the same thing with my journaling. It helps me get it out here and kind of put it down here onto the page. And so it was just beautiful how this page came together to represent, where I'm at, what I'm feeling, and this quote. And so the coloring is kind of that. It's kind of moody, and that's that's that decision making part of where I'm at right now. And the vines actually happened by happenstance, but it just came together to where like those vines is that kind of that indecision, and it's closing in on me a little bit, and I need to like make a decision, walk through the door, and through the door is the beauty and the good stuff that, sometimes you just have to make a decision about things. You can't stew on it, you can't, run it around in your head, you just got to do the thing, whatever the thing is. And so going through that with my journal just really kind of helps me process. And so and the quote is like, even when the door feels closed, and sometimes, when we're growing and changing, the door feels closed quite often. And sometimes we close the door ourselves, and sometimes it's closed by somebody else. And we're unsure of what's on the other side, that change. And that decision, that thing that we're trying to do. We don't know what's on the other side, but sometimes we need to just pull ourselves together and walk through the door. And so, of course, I'm going to put the door there, but sometimes even when the door feels closed, you can still find light along the path. So sometimes when we have been doing the thing or trying the thing or learning the thing, and a door gets closed, or we have to close a door on something, it feels final, but it's not. It's not final. There's still light along the path. There's still joy in the journey. There's still learning to happen. And there will be a moment when we can open that door again. When we have the courage, we have the strength, we have the whatever we need to unlock the door, turn the knob, and walk on through. And sometimes that happens right away, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it takes that processing, like I'm talking about for myself today, where I'm processing some things that I need to kind of walk through the door on. And our journals are perfect for that. And writing our emotions and our feelings and all the things that are going on in our head out helps us make decisions. It helps us really get it out of our head and verbalize it, and then it can kind of stop roaming around in there, and we have some free space to think and dream and do and all that kind of stuff. And the unknown on the other side of the door, it doesn't define you. It doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to change you. It's just unknown, and we will only know what's to come by making small steps, by learning, by growing, and choosing when we're ready to make decisions to walk through that door, whatever that door is. Everybody's got things that they're having to make decisions on, or change that's going to happen, or how things shift. I mean, our lives shift constantly. Job one day, no job the next day. It's just life, and sometimes those things happen, and we feel like a door has been shut, but really maybe if we reframe it, it's an opportunity to learn something new, to grow, to change, to whatever it is. And so that's kind of where I was at today as I was putting all of this together, and it just came together so wonderfully. And I love that process of just being absorbed in the creative process, and in that process I can find all of the things that represent something in my journey that I'm in at the moment, and how it just helps me kind of work my way through it, and then I can kind of let it go. And so that was all for today. And so your journey may still be ahead of you. You might still feel like a door is closed. Don't let that define you. Don't let that steal the lesson in the moment. Don't always know that there's more joy, there's more learning, there's more than just right now and what we can see. Because there's so much unknown that we don't know. And when we're ready and we have the strength and the courage to walk through the door, we will know. and we will experience that beauty and that joy and all of those things that are on the other side. All right, my loves, I hope your Sunday is restful and peaceful, and I hope that you know that wherever you are on your journey, if you're needing to make decisions or walk through that door of the unknown or make changes or whatever it might be, that there's joy waiting for you if you choose it. If you choose it. All right, my loves, have a wonderful Sunday, and always, always know that you are loved.